One thing Urban Meyer would not comment on today is who would be the next wide receivers coach for Ohio State. Joined now by the Blades' Kyle Rowland. And Kyle, there are certainly two candidates on staff right now that could fill that job quite easily.
Yeah, Brian Hartline, former Ohio State wide receiver, 7-year pro in the NFL, had a good stint in the NFL. And one underrated factor about that is he played with the Dolphins his whole time. South Florida, a huge recruiting base for Ohio State. So he knows a lot of people there, and it seems like he's ready to jump in. Been a lot of good things said about him this past year. I know the coaching staff really likes him. And that other candidate you mentioned is Corey Dennis, Urban Meyer's son-in-law. So quite the decision to make. And depending on which one he makes, the Thanksgiving dinner could be interesting.
Regardless of who that wide receiver coach is, it is a stable of wide receivers. And with Dwayne Haskins now the starting quarterback for the Buckeyes, we're expecting more of the deep ball in the offense this year.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen that consistently. I mean, I guess basically the Oregon National Championship game, that whole playoff run, you can almost go back to that as the last time Ohio State consistently threw it deep and did so well. And that's kind of the thing that's been missing these last few years, getting to the playoff and not doing so well. So I think that's the missing piece, and if they can do it this year, I mean, the ceiling is so high for this team, and Dwayne Haskins obviously performed so well in the Michigan game, but he's only played 171 career snaps, so I don't think we truly know how good he is. So we're going to find out early, I think, with that TCU game.
And another guy that we knew how good they were, Billy Price. He's now off to the NFL, leaving a big gap on the Ohio State offensive line.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's obviously been conversations about Michael Jordan stepping in there at center. But I think that's kind of the big mystery of fall camp, and it'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out. But regardless of what happens, I think Ohio State's offensive line is going to be pretty good this year. I don't think it's some glaring weakness or anything. And as you know, on the other side there, the defensive line is the best in the country. So I just think as an entire team, every unit is just so strong. And not only that, but depth-wise. I mean, Ohio State's second team could probably go 10-2. So when your second team is that good, you know that the whole team can kind of gel together and do some big things.
All right, thank you very much, Kyle Rowland from the Blade. He'll have much more on Ohio State and the Big Ten Media Days on the Blade online as well as the print edition. That's going to wrap up our coverage from Chicago and Big Ten Media Days for tonight. Much more the coming days on both Ohio State and Michigan. We'll hear from Jim Harbaugh on James Hudson's transformation from defensive line to offensive line. And Urban Meyer had some good things to say about St. John's linebacker Dallas Gant. In Chicago, Mark Hoots, BCSN.